Louisiana beer reviews. Mount Carmel Nut Brown Ale, malt beverage brewed with maple syrup. Okay. Mount Carmel Brewing Company was founded in 2005. It is in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's owned by Mike Dewey. I bought this on my road trip in July 2014 up to Ohio, and I bought this in Ohio at Kroger in a town called Oregon, Ohio, just east of Toledo on State Highway Route 2. Now this beer, I don't know when it exactly came out. It's 6% alcohol. It has 38 international bitterness units. It gets a very good score on Beer Advocate. The pros haven't reviewed it. 66 out of 100 on Rate Beer, 73 out of 100 for the style. There are only 2 video reviews for it. One by a guy I'm not familiar with. He talked a lot about food pairings. But his dogs were acting up the whole time while he was doing the video. Well, they weren't really acting up. They were just playing with a toy, and it was aggravating him. And then Dave, Beer Sampling with Dave, did a review of it. But it's a nice little label. It has a duck in a pond with a little water fountain, the flag of Ohio, a farmhouse, some trees, and a little brewery with a fence. So it's like a country scene. It looks pretty. And you see these kind of things when you drive through Ohio. Okay, let's check it out. I'm getting down to the end of the acquisitions from that trip. You know, I bought a lot of beer when it's taken me in a month, over a month now, to go through these beers, and I've done one a day, and I still have some left here at 8 a.m. Maple syrup. No, we get maple syrup down here at stores, and it's very expensive. When I drive to Illinois, sometimes we go up there for baseball games. Like last year, for instance, we stopped at the old U.S. Highway Route 66 in Illinois at Funk's Grove and bought some maple syrup. They have maple trees there. Okay, medium. That's the closest I know that anybody makes maple syrup. Up there on off the Interstate 55, which starts in my town in Illinois. So just drive to Illinois, 13 hours to get some maple syrup. Okay. It's I'm trying to figure out the color. I guess rust color, orangish, reddish thing. It's not really brown. Oh, I guess it's within the brown range, like a metallic brown. Reminds me of the color they used to use for the Ford Mustangs back in the 80s. It was a different type metallic brown. They used to even have the Mustang LX 5.0, the sports models in brown. It's like a brown, nut brown ale. It's got the sweetness, the breadiness, the bread crust, the nut shell from like pecan shells maybe. Maybe some sweetness from the maple syrup, but I'm not really, if I had known that it was made with it, I wouldn't have guessed that. Let's go with the Flavor War. And this was in one of the make your own 6-pack deals at the store. Now the bitterness in here is like if you ever bit into a pecan shell, and it'll give you that kind of unpleasant bitterness, I have to say. It's like, ugh. And you take the shell and you throw it out. So I'm not sure that's really an attribute, a positive attribute. There's sweetness, breadiness, maltiness, like I say, bitterness, and I guess that's from whatever hops they're using, but it does have that pecan shell unpleasant bitterness. The mouthfeel is medium. and the finish is semi-wet and pretty easy drinking. They might use syrup in it, but it might be 1 drop per barrel. Like maybe they have a big barrel and they go bloop, put 1 drop. So they probably save a lot of money just using 1 drop per barrel. I don't really know what they use, but it doesn't really taste too syrupy. Well, excuse me. Hard to say. Is this one of the best nut brown ales I've had? No. Hope they're okay out there. You hear sirens. We live close to a lot of highways and get wrecks a lot. Oh, that bitterness isn't too bad. It's good. I'll give it a B. It's a good beer. That's about all you can say about it. It's good. If you want a good beer, buy it. So that's not negative, right? If you want a good beer, buy it. So it's good. So les bon temps roulé. This is a good beer, and I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans. Loyola University of New Orleans. Wolfpack.